Hello, 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 everybody. It's Stevie Aisha Mills, and I'm super duper uber excited to be back with you for another episode of The Conversation. And so, our show is all about uncovering that why behind the what of what people do. And so today, I am absolutely excited because we have one of our DMV sponsors for Experience. Yes, Experience is an event that is all about you experiencing what the I Love My Life type of life is all about. So without any further ado, what I want to do is to welcome Dr. Denise to our platform and also have her to introduce herself.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am fantastic, and just thank you for having me today, and I just look forward to this conversation.
Oh, wow. You are so welcome. Thank you for all that you're doing and truly all that you are. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. I am Dr. Denise Moore Revel. I am the self-discovery expert. And what I mean by that is that I believe the most important relationship you will ever experience is the one that you have with yourself. But the problem is most people don't really take the time to discover who they really are and what's really valuable about them. And so they lack the confidence to move forward. They lack the confidence to go after that dream life, the life they know they were meant to live. And so as a self-discovery expert, I work with highly successful career women, and I have to provide the tools and the resources to help them shift to a more satisfied life experience. And so my thing is about owning your amazing. And so owning your amazing is really about knowing your value and being able to share that with the world.
Wow, all that you just said was so phenomenal. You're talking my language. And so, yes, I love it, the self-discovery expert. I do believe that we cannot do anything in life without knowing ourselves fully, because if we don't know who we are fully, and I call it rocking your it factor, and that's to live out your God-given gift. So if you don't know who that is, then you're, in essence, being inauthentic. And that's when the what they call the representative shows up. And so if you can't show who you are in fullness, then we don't know who you are. And to take it even further, people do business with who they know, like, and trust. And so I can't do business with you if I don't know you, like you, and trust you, because you're bringing your representative to the meeting. And so I love all that, what you just said, and owning your awesome is powerful. I love it. I love that, because we all are uniquely. Go ahead. What did you say?
It's actually owning your amazing. We are amazing.
Sorry.
That's okay. We are amazing.
Yes. So tell us why. Let's talk about that. So why did you choose the word amazing?
Well, it kind of chose me, so to speak. So a while ago, I was at a business retreat, and it was my turn to be in the hot seat or the love seat. And so different people were going around the room saying different things, about me or what they observed about me in order to help support me, right? So one particular lady at the retreat, she and I had gone to dinner the night before. We had just met at this retreat. We went out to dinner. And so the next day, when it was my turn to be in the love seat, she was saying, you know what, Dr. Denise, she said, you're talented, you're brilliant. I see so much in you. She said, but the problem is you don't own it. She said, you need to own your amazing. When I say literally, I got chills, and I started to weep.
Wow.
People in the room started to cry. They was like, that's it. That is it. So I didn't necessarily choose it. It chose me. And those words just really resonated. And I said, that's what I want people to know, that we are amazing and that we need to own it.
Wow. That is awesome. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You don't have me change my language. That's amazing. I love it. I love the why behind the what, and many times what happens on this show, because we have a distinct focus and not so much the what, it's because of the fact that you have to. We all have a what, like, and that's what so many people are keen on, right? They're keen on getting asked the question, "What do you do?" But I am very much keen on why do you do it, because especially because I tend to connect with people in saturated industries, and the why is truly how you can stand out from that saturated industry, because there are other people who are coaches, there are other people who are speakers, network marketers, authors, all these amazing things that we are. And so the whole thing is your why. Your why not only fuels you, but it sets you on a foundation. And so this is why that came about, and I'm so glad that you shared that with us, because it makes sense. And we're not going to forget it. We're not going to forget it, because we can imagine sitting at that love seat with you. Yeah. And I love that it's called a love seat and not a hot seat. But being in that love seat with you, and really, like when you said, the lady said to you, you don't own it, that was powerful, because how many times have we been put on an instance where we have these amazing adjectives? But it's almost like the words are floating in the air, but we haven't caught them to put them in the special place in our heart. You know, it's like I literally can see words just floating around, and we have access to them, but they're not there when we can reach out and grab. We haven't made the decision, because when you own something, you take possession of it. We haven't made that decision a lot of times to get to where we are, and I think that is powerful. So tell us about little Denise. Before she was even a doctor, when she was a little girl, were you always like, you all should know that y'all are powerful, like on the playground, in the cafeteria? What was that about? How did the whole instance of what you're doing now come about, or did you discover that later on in life?
Oh, my God. I definitely discovered it later on in life, and am still discovering it, you know. So little Denise was not confident at all. You know, I did well in school, you know, honor roll, A student, you know. I had all the accolades. You know, I participated in extracurricular activities, you know, all this stuff. And so on the outside, you know, I tell people, I said, you know, I look good on paper. I had all the accolades. I had all the things to say, oh, she's successful. She must feel good about herself. But that was far from the truth. Even with, you know, all the success I had, I was still inside of me thinking, this is not enough. I'm not enough. I need to do more. And I just never really valued myself. I always compared myself to other people. I just never felt like I measured up. And so that's why I couldn't own my amazing. I didn't know I was amazing, because I didn't feel that in the inside. And a lot of times we do things, you know, I said I got 3 degrees just to tell myself I'm smart, you know, where I never believed I was smart. I never believed I was capable. And so that's what really got me on this journey of looking at myself. Because, again, like I say, the most important relationship you will ever experience is the one you have with yourself. Not the one you have with your spouse, or the one you have with your parents, or your best girlfriend. But how do you relate to you? Do you value you first? Because that's so important, Stevie, because out of that, that's where we make our choices. That's where we take action based on how we perceive ourselves. And so I tell people, I said, a lot of people, we don't even give ourselves a shot. We don't even get on the court. We don't even get into the game, because we don't think we are capable of doing it. Where we probably well able, but because we don't think we're able, we don't even try. And so, no, I wasn't always owning my amazing as a child, not at all. But thank God I have people, my parents, my family members, teachers, you know, a support system encouraging me to do and go. But on the inside, I still struggled with feeling like I was enough.
Wow. And that is truly powerful, because there are a lot of people like that who I can totally relate with you about the degrees. I didn't get 3, I got 2. And when it came to the doctorate program, I was like, I think I'm good with the school stuff. I will learn from the personal development space and
right.
God is going to bless me with an honorary doctorate, I am still standing on that belief. And so
yeah.
when that happens, you know, because we'll say we talked about it here on today, but
that's right.
I definitely understand what you mean with that. You know, we solidify choices on what we have put out, you know, like I used to think back in the day that if a man liked me or talked to me, that meant I was pretty. Like those limiting beliefs that we have about different circumstances that we either people have called it mind trash or playing a broken cassette in your mind, all these personal development terms, but it all leads to the same purpose, that we don't think that we are worthy and we don't value ourselves. So I think that's absolutely phenomenal that you've done the work to come to this instance, because it is work. It is, you have got to go to the point where, you know, you are reveling in the essence of you are powerful enough, and that takes a lot, and it takes you going to the broken pieces and places in your soul and spirit to even mirror those negative things. You know, you've got to combat that by facing it on. What do you think?
Absolutely. And the work has not been easy at all. But, you know, I tell people, I'm worth it, though. You're worth it. You're worth the work. You're worth the effort of really discovering who you are and understanding your value. 2 weeks ago, I had an opportunity to do my Blueprint workshop live at a drug rehab program. And so just to see these ladies who are there to turn their lives around, you know, they had issues with substance abuse. And I told them, I said, this takes courage. I said, you all are so brave and courageous to be here, to do the hard work. I said, there are millions of people who struggle with substance abuse, but a lot of them don't get the help they need. A lot of them don't take the time to dig deep and to, like you said, go to those places, those pain points, those dark places, and deal with the hurt and the pain and be able to come out on the other side, you know, shining brightly. And so I just told them, I just commended them for it. But it takes work. It's not easy. It's not pretty, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
What do you think the first thing should be when people come to the point where they are like, I need to do this? What do you think the first step should be?
The first step should be just, you know, acknowledging that they need help, which is, or I need to do something different, you know? And so I have programs, I have workshops that help people to take that first step, because like you say, it's not easy to say, I'm going to sit down and really look at me. I'm going to sit down and really look at and see what's holding me back. But having the courage to reach out and get the help and support you need. I remember a few years ago when you know, I have a business, and so I know I needed help in growing my business. So I remember talking to this business coach, and so she was like, so what's the problem? You know, I said, I'm the problem. I'm very aware that I get in my own way. And so just recognizing that we get in our own way, and then saying the first step is go get some help, go get some support with someone, you know, you trust and you know that can help you to move through that journey, because it's not easy. But I think, again, I keep saying it, but you're worth it. You're worth every effort it is. So just getting some help and some support to go on that journey.
I think it's amazing that you told the person that you're like, I know what my problem is. It's
right.
And a lot.
Yeah, she was so surprised about that too. The coach, she was like, you're the first person I've ever had to say that. She said, because everybody is their own worst enemy. She said, really, most people don't understand that they get in their own way. She's like, I'm fully aware it's me. Help me get out of my own way. Help me with me. You know,
how did you come to that awareness to say that it's you? Like, because she's right. Most people will blame things on outside forces. So how did you just draw in and say, it's me? Do you think that's like cognitively that through education you said this is what it is and you were able to express it, or where did that come from?
It came from I did this thing where I was like, okay, I'm looking at successful people, And so I started to say, well, what do they have that I don't have? Or I used to say, well, it has to be this. This is why they're successful and I'm not, right? And so I went down this list. Well, I said, is it because I'm a woman? Well, no. There are a lot of very successful women out there, right? Or it may be because African American. Well, no, there's millions of successful African Americans. Yeah. So I went down the list, and I finally was like, it's none of those things. It's nothing outside of me. It's not my education. I have education. It's not my family background. It's not all these things that we tell ourselves. That's what's keeping us from really living the life of our dreams. And finally it came to, it was me. It was me. I was holding me back. I was like, oh, my goodness. It's my mindset. It's how I think about me. It's how I show up in life. It's what I'm willing to do and the limitations I placed on myself. I was like, oh, my goodness, it's me. Yeah. So it was through my research.
That's such a funny thing because you are a doctoral person, and that is all research.
So,
so to me, like cognitively, I'm just looking at the fact that you were born into research. And it makes sense that you have a doctorate. I want to talk a little bit more about the fact, like, once you made that revelation, what happened? What was the first thing you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Kind of like a leap step. What was the first thing you're like, I'm going to test the limit, and like Steve Harvey says, jump. I'm going to jump and do this. What was the first thing that you did once you realized that and that you got your courage and your power and your awareness up to make the next step? What was that next step? What was that, like, thing that you couldn't do before that now that you have this, you could do? Like, it's almost like a fearlessness type of deal.
For me, the first step, my leap, was signing up for this coaching program. And it was a leap because I knew that this program was going to require me to look at me. The program was designed to say, let's look at who you are. Who are you showing up as a business person? But more importantly, who are you showing up as in life, period, And another thing I did was I signed up for a life coach because, I know I needed support in digging deeper. I couldn't do it on my own. If I could have done it on my own, I would have had already done it, So I know I needed something bigger, deeper, that was going to make me feel uncomfortable. I needed people to help challenge me, to challenge my limiting beliefs, for one, about myself, but just to challenge me to get out of my comfort zone and to challenge me to move forward with the life I say I want for myself. So that whatever the leap may be, it may be different for different people, but for me, I know I needed some support. I needed help. I needed to surround myself with people who were already at the level in which I aspired to be. So whatever that may be, because some people may be starting a business. Well, I already had a business, so that wasn't a leap for me. But for me, it was more expanding it and taking it to a different level. So the leap is that whatever that little thing is going to make you shake and quiver and make you afraid and get you out of your comfort zone. That's that thing you got to do. That's the thing you got to face.
Yes. And I think I kind of relate to that back in 2009. I took the leap to go full-time entrepreneurship. And for me, that was like, it was scary because that wasn't what I was groomed towards.
Yeah.
I always tell people I was the girl who went from kindergarten to grad school. There was no, like, break in that. So for me, that's where I was for those many years, just in the education field. So, I always ask people when I'm speaking, I'm like, the next logical thing is to get a job. And I always say, or so I thought. And so I did get a job. I did it the right way. So I always talk about the 3 B's, the bank account. You got, when you have a job, a good job, you get direct deposit. That's not a little bit of money. So I have my business cards, my just amazing things. And so it's funny because you have benefits too. And during this time, I was like, I hate this job. I hate this. I didn't really understand why I hated it. And now I understand it because I'm pretty much a free spirit. So being in a corporate America type of place that broke my soul and my spirit. And it's funny because looking back, and I tell people about my book, like Cultivating Your It Factor, I was like, if I knew what my it factor was, I never would have been there. Because looking back, it makes sense that I shouldn't have been there because that was just against my personality. I love school. I love being able to choose classes. You know, I had a whole lifetime of freedom and flexibility. So being in this point where that was taken away, and I didn't know that was like my superpower. Like freedom, flexibility are things that I have to have, like non-negotiable things. And so I ended up on that job, and I hated it, and I was there for a year. But for me, I ended up being sick. Like after that job, I had to go through colonoscopies. I had 3 in 30 days, 2 within 24 hours. I had shingles, and I went from a size 14 to a size 0, all because of stress. And so I didn't know that because I kind of lived a stress-free life, thank God, up until that point. And so I knew that I just didn't want to be there, but I didn't know it was stressing me out, so like to that point. And so for me, like making the decision to leave that job, that was the scariest thing that I have ever done. Just saying, because I was like, what if I'm making the wrong choice? And it was that, and I realized that now, like, it's not a big deal to leave a job. People do that every day. But for me, it was just like insurmountable. Like, this is what I've been working for my whole life, basically. And so to be in this position where you are just like about to do something totally against the grain and different than what you thought, that was like, oh my gosh, it was a lot of second guessing. So I definitely, I said all that to say, you're right about the leap. Like everybody's leap is different, and you just have to honor your leap. So I tend to ask this question a lot too, and I know that you probably have something that will benefit this. So I wanted to ask you, if we had one more thing to say, you're like, Stevie, we cannot leave the conversation today without this getting uncovered and telling the people, what would that one thing be?
My thing is this, you know, and it goes back to my why, and it's what you talked about earlier, is that we only get one shot at this thing called life. This is it. You know, I said there's no dress rehearsals. And so I want my life to be all that it can be. And if that means me having to dig deeper, look inside of me, to do whatever it needs to take for me to get the life that I know I was meant to have, then I need to do that. And so I'm just so passionate about helping people to live the life that they were designed to live. And I think that in order to do that, you have to know who you are first. And so I just want people to know that you don't get a chance to do this over. So let's get it right. Let's do it well. And I just believe we were sent here to this planet to show the magnificence of the Creator, and so also to share those things, those gifts and talents He's given to us, to share those with the world. So I just want people to live life to their fullest, to enjoy life, and to know that, you know, life is good, and we should be living well.
Yes, ma'am. We should. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And it's funny because my LLC is called Living the Life I Love.
Oh, wow.
I agree with that.
Awesome.
Thank
you. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes. So you're speaking my language wholeheartedly.
Oh, this is awesome. Oh, my God, this is great. I didn't know that. That's so wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I am absolutely excited about just you being part of Experience DMV, you saying yes to the sponsorship. That blesses me, and I am I'm kind of biased towards Experience DMV. You all have been so phenomenal, you as sponsors, and, you know, just we've done some amazing things. I've told people, like, the event is officially sold out, but
Wow.
just for the people who may not be listening to this before, some people may have not have ever heard of Experience DMV till this day. So we are going to extend the tickets a little bit more for those people because they're complimentary, and we have over 50-plus people registered already.
Wow!
So,
yay!
Yes, it's exciting. It is exciting. It's going to be dynamic. And so if you all go to Stevie.com, you just tickets for however many people you want to bring. They're complimentary again. And the only thing you have to know is how to spell my first name, Stevii. And there is a link on there that says Experience. You can register, get your tickets. And we will have to cap the tickets off at some point because I'm sure the room has capacity, but we're gonna rock it till the wheels fall off.
All right.
That's
Yay.
what they say. So I want to make sure that we get your contact information so that the people can know about your amazing products and services and you, and just make sure that we connect with you and stay connected.
Awesome. So my website is www.ownyouramazingnnow.com. And you can reach me there. I'm on Facebook. But even when you go to ownyouramazingnnow.com, I want to offer the audience a free gift, and it is the Own Your Amazing, the Blueprint. And so it's a video series that gets them started on this path. So this might be, for some people, this can be your leap. Just take a look at the video and get on that path of self-discovery and just begin to know who you are, to value and appreciate who you are, and then be able to share your brilliance with the world.
Awesome. So ownyouramazing.com. Again, ownyouramazing.com. Definitely go get that resource. I know I will probably, you'll see my email address because I love it. I just love the brand that you're building, and it's so phenomenal. I'm so glad that your family member is one of my friends, and she introduced us, and that's nothing but God. So
yes.
I am excited about that. Shout out to Tara. And so you just blessed us today. Like I feel like I could go out even more and be even more amazing. So I am thankful for that, and I appreciate you. And so we cannot wait to see you at Experience DMV. What an incredible evening! Like I think for this, and this is funny because I always say I'm not biased, which I'm not. All of them have their own special sauce. But I think for this one, not only am I like excited about our speakers, our sponsors, this one we have two gentlemen who are going to be talking a bit. So we have that. We also have this amazing 6-year-old DJ. So there's like it's almost the we pulled out all the stops, it seems, and so I'm excited about being there. And then in August, I'm coming back to do the It Factor Affair there in Maryland. So for that, only $47. We'll be on the rooftop of MC Row Hotel, and we're going to talk branding, PR, and marketing. So the DMV is good to me. If you guys want to get tickets to that, it's only like 12 spots left for $47. You inbox me or email me. Everything is Stevie, Stevii, so you can find me easily. And I would love for you guys to be there so we can help, like, brand you even greater, give you some PR tips and some marketing tips. So let's make grand things happen. I never say have a great day. I always say make it a great day. Why? Because you have the power to do so. So thank you again, Dr. Denise, and we'll see you in Maryland.
All right. Thank you, Stevie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.